We are at the 12 o'clock hour, so we are gearing up for our animal care training for live at lunchtime. If you are watching on Instagram, hopefully it is coming through for you guys just fine. I'm not really sure. We might have some technical issues going on over there. Um, I'm not really sure. So, but anyways, we will go ahead and get started here. So this training is all about how you guys can help with the animal care team when you're visiting the shelter. So typically, animal care hours are going to be Monday through Saturday, starting at 8 a.m. As you guys know, the shelter is open at 8 a.m. to volunteers and staff. It is not until 10 a.m. when we open up to the public. So, in those 2 hours, we have plenty of time to go ahead and get some cleaning done before visitors started coming in. And I'm sorry a little bit. Okay, so we are live on Instagram now. It is finally going live. So Monday through Saturday, starting at 8 a.m., you can come in, you can assist with animal care. Typically, that will be completed around 1 p.m. It's going to vary because we're doing regular cleaning on these days, whereas Sundays and holidays, it is from 8 to 12. It is a quick clean, just going in, doing everything as far as feeding, watering, spot cleaning, things like that, just to get them so they're comfortable and taken care of until we open up on Monday. So Monday through Saturday, if you want to help out with any of the animal care, you can come anytime. You don't have to be there right at 8 a.m. If you want to come in at 9, if you want to come in at 10 and help. I can assure you that regardless of what time you come in the mornings, they are still cleaning at some area in the shelter. We have a lot of animals right now, so it is the most time-consuming task in the building. Sundays, you do have to arrive by 8 a.m. and you have to stay until 12 p.m. unless they get done sooner. This time of year, you can probably expect to be there till noon, whereas in winter, if we have less animals, sometimes they can be out of there in about 2 hours. So it just kind of depends, but you need to be in the building from that 8 to whenever they're finished on Sundays and holidays, just because the gate is going to be closed since we are closed to the public completely that day. That way you can get in and then you'll get out when everybody goes to leave. There's nobody at the front desk to open and close that gate for you guys. Also on Sundays and holidays, that is by sign up only. We only need about 4 helpers, and that's because we typically only have about 4 or 5 animal care technicians in the building on Sundays and holidays. So you'll just be pairing up with each one of them and going through and cleaning up after all the pets and feeding and watering. So our animal care team leaders are going to be Kira, which I didn't have a photo of Kira or my love, but Kira is the animal care supervisor. Typically when Kira is in the building, she's spending a lot of time in cat ISO. Her office is in there and she's primarily caring for those ones so that when she's cleaning and tending to the cats that aren't feeling too good, she can then not transfer all those germs into other areas like stray cat, adoption cat, things like that. So you will see her in there quite a bit, but she's typically everywhere all the time. Georgette is going to be one of our lead animal care technicians, and the other one is going to be my love. These two can be anywhere in the facility, in any animal area cleaning. These guys are going to be your best option for finding out where you can be of the most help, and if you have any questions about how to do something, these guys are definitely going to be your go-tos. These guys have been with us for quite a while now, and some of our other technicians that aren't in the leadership They are relatively new. So if you have any questions, these are definitely the go-to. Otherwise, the newer technicians are being trained up and they will have the important knowledge to share with you guys about regular animal care. So some of the guidelines with animal care is that any volunteers assisting with animals will be paired up with a staff member. You don't have to worry about being in there, being on your own, and being unsure of what you guys are supposed to do. It's important that you guys follow all instructions that are being provided by the staff members. This is going to be for safety, not necessarily just because you might be with a pet that is more nervous or anxious than another, but also because you might be exposed to areas where pets might be ill, or have ringworm, something like that, and we don't want to transmit any germs if we can help it. And then also, when you guys come in, you can probably expect that you will be paired up with an animal care tech in the adoption area only. Typically, we want to keep you guys in those areas just because we know the animals are relatively healthy and their behavior is good, and we don't want to have to worry too much about volunteers interacting with pets that might be sick or reactive. So some of the reasons why it's so important to properly clean these areas is because it's going to eliminate any kind of pathogens that might be in the kennels. So any bacteria, viruses, parasites, or illnesses. It also reduces the risk of zoonotic diseases. Zoonotic diseases are diseases that are transferable from pets to humans. These could be rabies, or it could be something less severe and less life-threatening, but we want to make sure that nobody is exposed to anything that could be a potential risk. Ringworm is something that is transmittable. Again, it's not something significant as far as pain or long-term issues. However, nobody wants ringworm. It's nasty, it's uncomfortable. We just want to be very careful not to spread anything. It's also going to reduce our shelter costs, because when we're cleaning properly and getting rid of all those pathogens, we're now promoting a healthier environment for the pets, which is going to reduce any illnesses. It also reduces stress in the pets and improves their behavior because they have a much higher level of physical and mental well-being. It's an example of our commitment to animal welfare and ensuring that every pet is well taken care of. And it creates a positive impression on potential adopters and donors. When people come in and they see a clean shelter, they see that the pets are being properly cared for, it definitely leaves something imprinted on them that this is a good place to go. This is a facility that takes care of their pets, that loves the pets that come into their care. And they're going to be more likely to adopt pets from our facility or donate to our facility if they know that we are doing a good job of caring for the pets in our area. For feeding of the pets, we do have a few guidelines. With puppies, we are going to offer them dry puppy food. If they are really, really tiny, we might offer some wet, depending on their teeth and where they're at with that, but typically it's just going to be dry puppy food. Adult dogs are just going to get adult dry food. Kittens are going to get a cardboard food boat with kitten pate and another one of dry. So that way we're offering them both. They can pick and choose which one they want. If they're not quite ready for dry food, they have that pate, so they're still getting the nutrients that they need without having to worry about their ability to eat one food or another. Adult cats are going to get half a can of wet food and then a food boat of adult dry food, and I now see that I have a little typo on there. That is going to be adult dry food and half can of adult wet food. So again, offering them. Now, some of these pets are going to have a sign on their kennel that says special diet. These are going to be for pets that are maybe picky eaters. Maybe they're not eating because they're too stressed out, whatever the case may be. Some of them will have some issues with digestion or something else. Now, with them, the animal care technicians will let you know what kind of food they're on. Sometimes it's as simple as offering wet food to an adult dog to promote them to eat more. It could be giving them some of our picky eater meals, which is going to be a chicken and rice blend and things like that. So, in general, most everyone will be on this basic feeding guide, but we always have at least one or two additional ones that have their special diets. With watering, there are watering cans in the dog kennels on stray side and adoption side. Those watering cans are right under the faucet that is right in the center of the kennel room on both sides of the shelter. So with them, you can use those water cans. You fill them up, you can go up and down the line of kennels, sticking that watering can through the kennel door. You don't even have to enter the kennel to be able to water them. It's super quick and easy. With cats, or if you're in the small dog area, there are watering cans in the feed room, and you can use that to water those guys. For cat care, the areas that you guys will be helping out with are going to be the community cat and kitten playroom. Those are those first two cat rooms located right inside the entrance next to the front desk. The adoption cat hallway, Grayland, and cat condos. And again, Grayland is the office right across from cat condos, where we'll typically have kennels with some cats in there, or we'll have some pets free roaming. These are adoption cat areas, so you guys know they should all have friendly demeanor. They should all be relatively healthy. Some of the ways you guys can help with the cats is by setting up the kennels after the techs have sprayed and wiped them down, preparing the food for them, refilling their waters, and ensuring that any bedding they have in there or toys is clean. If not, you're replacing them or providing them with toys if they don't have any in there already. Dog care is very similar. You will be helping out in the adoption dog kennels. It's important to know too that in these adoption areas, these are the areas that we typically start cleaning in first, just because we want them to be clean, ready to go, and attempt to have us out of the way before opening. When it's really full, that makes it a little bit more difficult to successfully be out of there before 10. But in general, we definitely go to these areas first, since we know we're going to have a lot more foot traffic from visitors and potential adopters going through those areas once we open our doors. How you can help in there, same thing, setting up the kennels after the techs have sprayed them down, swept the hair out of the drains. You can prepare their food, refill their water, and again, switch out any soiled bedding. If they have toys that are heavily chewed or messy, you can remove those and give them some clean ones. As far as cleaning the toys and beddings, all of the dishes are washed in the feeding room, and you are going to also wash any plastic pet toys or plastic pet puzzles in that room as well. If you notice that any of the plastic pet toys are chewed up and have some sharp edges, or missing chunks, pretty severe damage, or any kind of damage that might cause an injury on the pets, go ahead and toss it. We have plenty of toys, plenty of enrichment. We do not want to have a vet visit because a sharp piece of plastic cuts a dog's gum or something of that nature. So feel free to toss those. But those are all washed in the feed room. As far as any fabric toys, such as rope toys for dogs or stuffed animals, all of that and the bedding will be washed in the laundry room. So with the fabric toys and the rope toys, if they have been heavily chewed beyond repair, again, go ahead and toss them. Any kind of stuffed animals, if they have any holes where stuffing can come out, please toss them. We do not want the pets to be impacted, specifically the dogs. If they start chewing up stuffed animals and they ingest any of that stuffing, they can be impacted where they cannot cross the stuffing from the stuffed animals, and then that requires a vet visit. So please be mindful on the toys. And if you happen to be passing out toys and you notice any toys in the enrichment shelves that are damaged heavily, go ahead and toss them. On bedding, this is pretty common to see in small dog room or if we have pop-ups in the hallway. If the bedding or towels is horribly soiled, please go ahead and toss it. We don't want to stick those in our washing machines if they're that bad. If it's, dry feces, something like that, you can shake it out into a trash can before placing it in the laundry. But if it is heavily soiled, don't worry about it. Just dispose of it. We do have extra bedding and towels stored in a shipping container behind the shelter. So if you ever are in there, you see that the shelves in the laundry room are pretty much empty from any bedding, sheets, or towels, and there's not a lot of laundry that's dirty piled up on the floor. You can always ask a staff member if you can go out and collect some of that extra stored bedding from the shipment container. Now, deep cleaning and cleaning in stray pet areas is going to be done by staff members for safety and health reasons. We don't really want to expose you guys to any harsh chemicals. We don't want to expose you to zoonotic diseases, which are again ones that are transmittable from animals to humans, and we don't want to expose you to fractious pets. So feral cat room, you can't stick your hand in there to feed and water them. We have to use tongs. Pets like that, pets that are in ISO that are just very, very sick, we don't want you guys to have to clean them just because we have to take extra precautions. It's a lot more in depth. So staff members will do all of that, and we will give you guys the opportunity to help in adoption areas where it's a little more basic, a little less intense, and more rewarding for you guys as opposed to getting stressed out about some of these more difficult areas. On Sunday and holidays, those are going to be our quick cleans. For dogs, dogs and cats, we're feeding, watering, removing any soiled bedding or toys. With dogs, we're scooping poop that is on the back side of the kennels in adoption. Cats, emptying and switching out the cat litter. We're making sure that they have toys to play with since we are closed to the public and we want them to have things to do while they don't have visitors. And then with the dogs, a lot of times volunteers are going to be taking the dogs out to take a quick walk, go to the bathroom, while their kennel's being cleaned or hosed down. So throughout the day, there is still cleaning, but it's one of those things that never really ends. If you start cleaning one kennel in adoption dog, by the time you get to the last kennel, you can probably guarantee that one of the kennels you previously did has already got some kind of a mess in it. So it is kind of a continuous thing throughout the day. So some of the ways you can help with animal care throughout the day, especially if the kennel techs are already done cleaning for the day, you can be refilling the cat or dog waters as needed. On adoption side, on the back side of their kennel, they are usually using that area to go to the bathroom. So you can always go into their kennel, scoop any solid feces, or go out into the play yards and remove feces from there. You can offer treats to adoption cats. You can use treats as a training tool with the adoption dogs. These guys are getting their feeding in the mornings, so by doing it this way, it kind of sustains them if they're getting a little hungry throughout the day. You can dispose of any destroyed toys. If you happen to be an adoption dog, there's 3 puppies in a kennel and they completely destroyed a stuffed animal, you can go in there and clean all that up. I would highly advise you to. I beg that if you guys see stuffed toys that are shredded in a kennel on adoption side or in a green sticker dog on stray side, remove that if you see it. We do not want them to get impacted from that. And then you can also help with passing out daily enrichments. every day. It's something new for these guys to keep it fun and exciting. We do have Eric that does most of the enrichment prep for all the dogs. So you can ask him or one of our cat coordinators, what would you like me to hand out to the pets today for enrichment? They will be happy to allow you to do that for all the pets, just because there's a lot of pets and we only have one dog coordinator, one cat coordinator. So it definitely frees up some of their time to work on additional tasks. So that is the end of that presentation. I think that was actually the quickest one we've done. I don't see any comments on Facebook, and I don't see any on Instagram as well. So if you guys happen to have any questions, you can reach out anytime. You can continue to comment on these live posts at any time. I will see them and I will reply. But otherwise, I definitely encourage you guys to come in and help anytime with animal care. It's the most important, one of the most important things that we require at the shelter. We have to make sure these guys are well taken care of, or they're not going to be in a position to get adopted out, especially if they're malnourished, they're sick, something like that. So we got to take care of them to the best of our ability. We do not have a large staff, okay? So we're talking about 200 to 300 animals in the shelter, not including fosters, and we have a total of 24 staff members that are not in the building all at once. So with that, kennel techs probably make up about 10 of those staff members, and they are not there every single day. So it's really important that volunteers help us with animal care whenever they're willing to, just so we can make sure that everybody kind of gets taken care of in a timely manner, and also helps give the animal care technicians a little bit of a break and some help with much needed help, I should say, with all the pets that are in our care right now. So thank you guys so much for those of you who came on, and I will hopefully see some of you on Saturday when I'm in the shelter again.